will you let me pray with you about it? She stopped for a minute and she said, well, I don't know. And I said, okay. So I turned the cart around to go away, but I was praying within. And after a while, she said, Miss, would you pray with us? I said, absolutely. Right there in the middle of the store, right there where some of us would have said, well, can we go outside? Or no, people do what they do out in public. So guess what? I pray in public.
Welcome to the Ignite with Barry McGuire podcast, where Barry's book and passion for spreading God's love are guaranteed to ignite your life. Now listen in and prepare to have your life ignited.
So I've been through a few things. I've been around the corner with some rough times. But you know what? With him, I always come out on top. I always come out with lessons about him and areas that I didn't know. So I come out with my faith stronger. So now that next lady that I see in the grocery store, I heard her. I had an experience where I saw a lady in the grocery store, her and her daughter was on a cane. And I passed them up, but then I heard something, said, go back and talk to her. So I turned the cart around and my husband said, uh-oh, here she goes. I went back and I asked her, I said, what's wrong with your daughter? And she was in an accident through some kind of sport she was playing. And I asked her, I said, will you let me pray with you about it? And she stopped for a minute and she said, well, I don't know. And I said, okay. So I turned the cart around to go away, but I was praying within. And after a while, she said, Miss, would you pray with us? I said, absolutely. Right there in the middle of the store. Right there where some of us would have said, well, can we go outside? Or no. People do what they do out in public. So guess what? I pray in public. So I prayed for her, gave her my number, talked to her about the Lord, asked her did she have a church, but she never called. So somebody said, well, that's above my pay grade. I did my part. You don't know whether you're the planter or the waterer. He's the one that gives the increase. All I want to do is do my part. Don't try to figure out where you fit. Just do it. Just tell somebody about loving Jesus. Be kind. This is I was telling my children, this is the time to be intentionally kind, intentionally faithful. You have to push and you have to, it's a time now where it takes effort to pray with people because people are angry. They get up angry. They're very angry. But guess what? Just smile at them. Good morning. That's what I did yesterday when I went in for the angiogram. The lady, she was just grumpy and she was upset. And I said, good morning. How are you doing? It's amazing what a smile will do. It is amazing. And guess what? It's infectious. Because before I left her station, she was smiling. I said, there it is. I knew you could do it. So why? We have the joy of the Lord. Give somebody some. Because people don't have joy without Him. They don't have peace without Him. And we're here to be a light.
If you enjoyed today's episode, let us know. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review to help us reach more listeners. Remember, sharing your faith ignites your faith. See you next time on the Ignite with Barry McGuire podcast.